Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. General Hospital sees Brooke Lynn Quartermain and her husband Harrison Chase dealing with a lot of family stress. They are being pulled closer to other people. That has me wondering if we're going to see BLQ and Chase split, with some couple swaps coming. We're going to talk about whether the stress in Brooke Lynn and Chase's lives, plus them getting close to their exes, is about to cause some problems. This week, we see Dante Falconeri and Brooke Lynn focused on making things right with their son. Joe Palmieri told Dante more than once to throw her under the bus and get to know Joe without her. Brooke Lynn thinks Joe will be more accepting of Dante that way. Meanwhile, Chase is totally frustrated with his wife Brooke Lynn. The adoption isn't happening. She is all eaten up with stress about Joe at the same time. Willow Tate is really struggling, and Chase has been a rock for her. This is all a recipe for disaster. We know, of course, there's a fan base that likes BLQ with Chase, but it's a soap opera. That means happily ever after doesn't really exist. No soap lets any couple stay together in blissful marital happiness for too long, unless they're minor characters or rarely seen. You know how it goes. For front-burner characters like Brooke Lynn and her hot hubby, there is bound to be trouble. Now, we've noticed some huge red flags on General Hospital. These suggest Brooke Lynn Quartermain and Chase might be headed for Splitsville as they get in too deep with their exes. The first red flag is Brooke Lynn has hit pause on the plans to start a family with Chase by going the route of adoption since he is infertile. Brooke Lynn feels like she needs to sort things out with Joe first. But there's been zero progress. Chase is feeling like everything's at a standstill. It's just frustrating. Nothing is moving forward. Not with Joe. So therefore, nothing that he wants either. The second red flag is Dante and Brooke Lynn are getting closer. They agreed to work together to try and reconcile with their son Joe. At first, Dante and BLQ thought giving Joe space would help, but that only seemed to make him angrier. It's not the best approach, but it was the only approach they had. Now that Dante has talked Brooke Lynn into approaching Joe with them, that will keep throwing them together while they figure out how to reconcile with their son. As they talked, it turned into Dante and Brooke Lynn sharing what I think was a really sweet moment this week. The whole backstory with them having a baby is all retcon anyway. So, there's plenty there for the writers to work with. At the same time, the second red flag is that Brooke Lynn's husband, Chase, was with somebody else. He has been one of the few people who truly sympathizes with Willow for what she's going through with Michael Corinthos and the kids. Recently, Chase even confronted Michael about not letting Willow see Wiley and Amelia. But it's worse than Chase suspects. Michael feels like he has to protect the kids from Willow. He suspects that Willow was the one messing with baby Daisy, and Michael is 100% right. This has the potential to drive a wedge between Brooke Lynn and Chase as well. I'm going to tell you how. The third red flag is the disconnect between Chase and Brooke Lynn over the adoption stuff. First, Chase wants to press forward, yet BLQ is tapping the brakes. Also, Chase is having deep talks with Willow Tate about his frustrations, so he's really opening up to his ex. Chase told Willow he wants to have a child so badly, but now he's starting to think it's never going to happen. He isn't sure if Brooke Lynn can get through to Joe and fix things. That's her main obstacle to moving forward. Plus, I'm sure it's still weighing on Chase that he is unable to biologically father a child with her while his best friend Dante did exactly that. Another red flag is Chase has been there to let Willow vent and confide in him about everything going on with Michael, Drew Kane Quartermain, and Nina Reeves. He's listened without judgment. Chase hasn't told Willow that she's bad or has lost herself. He hasn't said anything insulting. He's been very comforting. What Chase and Willow don't know is that Michael and Dante are busy looking for evidence to nail Willow for the Daisy incidents. If they find it, Dante is likely going to arrest Willow. That's going to trigger another red flag. Chase is going to be angry at Dante and Michael. I'm sure Chase will try very hard to help Willow. I'm guessing BLQ might be Team Michael and Dante on this, which could put more stress on her marriage. What could be coming is Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri spending a lot more time together trying to get through to their son. Once they do, BLQ and Dante will be spending quality family time with Joe. If Brooklyn gets her maternal needs satisfied by having Joe back in her life, she may not want to pursue adoption. In fact, BLQ may reject adoption completely because of Gio. If you remember, Joe said he felt like BLQ and Dante threw him away. BLQ may not want Joe to feel like she gave him up but then went and welcomed another child into her life. So Brooklyn could destroy Chase's family dreams if she decides she cannot ever adopt. Meanwhile, I don't think Willow going to lose her kids forever. The Daisy and Sasha stuff could work out in a wild way. Imagine if Sidwell Carlo Rhoda has the info to make the custody ruling look corrupt, which makes Michael look bad. It looks like his dad, Sonny Corinthos Maurice Bernard, bought the judge. That alone might balance out the things Willow has done. It seems Michael's family bought off the judge, and if Willow has her kids back and Chase is spending time with her, playing stepdad might be the next best thing to having a kid of his own. You never know if he and Willow get together. She might be open to insemination using his brother, Hamilton Finn's Michael Easton sperm to make a baby, which was something he had floated before. Michael is not going to take Willow back. She dumped Drew at the altar, so she needs a new romance in her life. Chase might see his marriage fracture because of the Joe issues and BLQ getting too close to Dante, who may soon be on Chase's enemy list over the whole Willow, Sasha, Daisy situation. What would be really wild in this is if Brooklyn and Chase split up, and he ends up with Willow. Imagine if Dante wound up with BLQ. Do you know how Lulu Spencer Alexa Havens Bruning would react? She hates BLQ so badly. The idea that Dante would be with Brooklyn instead of Lulu would be interesting. Dante being with Brooklyn would make Lulu totally postal, and I would be here to see that. We'll see how it works out, but it would be extremely soapy and messy if it played out this way. We might get some couples swap soon. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.